everyone. Welcome to yet another episode of Yet Another Beer Show. I'm Colin.
I'm Chris.
And we're here to review another beer. Shocker. But this is one that Chris picked out for us today, and it's Flying Dog Brewery's Snake Dog IPA. And I don't know, did you pick this because of the label? I would have picked this because of the label.
Yeah, I got to tell you, the place where I've been buying some of our recent selections, they had several, I would all assume is the same brewery having a bunch of beers right next to each other. So the labels are all very odd. It's kind of like Rob Zombie did like a bunch of cartoons, and like you're kind of like disturbed by it, but on the same token you're intrigued. So
I mean I haven't seen this before, or maybe I've just never looked closely at it, but it is a dog that's head turns into a snake, which curls back behind its body and has devil horns with lifesavers coming out of it.
Yeah, so we're either going to get something that's going to kill us or be really good.
Man's best friend or human fear number one.
All the beers that they had listed there had something to do with like dogs. Like there was one that we were talking about just before. It was like bitch face ugly dog or something, and it looked like
it
looked like a rabid dog, and I was like, well, this is kind of PG, so maybe we'll go with this one first, and we'll get to that one.
We'll see what happens.
The after hours beer show
with Snake Dog first. I mean, we don't know a whole lot about this apart from it being an IPA, right?
I've never even tried anything from their brewery, so I'm curious to see what it is. It's somewhat local to us down in Maryland, so I'll assume that it's pretty easy to get a hold of because we're not that far away from it.
You get a decent nose on just the bottle, which is interesting. Yeah.
Thanks for topping me off.
We had read a little bit about this, kind of doing some research, but it's definitely clear this kind of smells like pine air freshener.
Yeah, there's definitely like some pineness. I smell a lot of citrus, so a lot of the reviews we saw, everyone commented on how the citrus does come out. They wish some people wanted to come out a little in the front. Some people said it tastes well in the back, but I can definitely smell some. No new car smell, but it's definitely pine.
It's not quite pine air freshener, but it's like orange peels and pine sol.
So it's got a nice color.
Yeah, it's like a good golden color here, like golden amber color, and a decent amount of carbonation, but kind of typical in IPAs.
Yeah, and
it's holding a pretty reasonable head too.
Yeah,
let's give it a try. Cheers.
Cheers. I got slammed with citrus right off the bat. And it was citrus.
Me too. And but then it just kind of got carried through by just kind of the effervescence of it.
See, I think from some of my favorite IPAs tend to have a lot of they're heavier on the hop side, and this one it has the hoppiness that you'd expect out of an IPA, but on the same token, it's sort of masked by the citrus a little bit. There's maybe a little bit a bit of malt, I think, on the when you finish it. But there's a lot of as soon as it touches your palate, I tasted citrus, and the hops didn't come in until the second half.
It's like the hops came in to just kind of help like scrub it along, like clear your palate a little. It's kind of interesting how it has 3 phases. I mean, every beer has 3 phases, but this one has 3 distinct phases.
Mm-hmm. It's good. It's definitely a very different IPA tasting. That all the IPAs obviously are very citrusy, and they rely on that to flavor almost the entire experience of drinking it. But this one is it's very, very citrusy, but it's also not an overpowering citrusy that all you can taste now, like after not drinking it for 30 seconds, is, oh my god, it's still citrusy in my mouth.
Yeah, it's really good. It's easy to drink too. That's another thing that I like about it. Going through half a bottle pretty quickly.
And I think a lot of the reviews we saw, people were in the B range. Like if you like to check out different beer reviews online, like they have standard grading. Like a lot of people were saying it's a B, and I feel like that might be a little harsh. I don't know if I can give it a solid A, but people were giving it like lower marks, saying, oh, it didn't hold up for me, and I wanted more hops, or I didn't want it was too citrusy, or it wasn't carbonated enough. But I think this is a 7. It's a 7.1% alcohol, and I have to say I think they hide it really well, like, which is good.
Yeah,
it makes it more drinkable, but that's
a harder thing for IPAs to do than some other beers, just because they're lighter and they're less on the malt, more on the hop. It's a lot harder to hide alcohol, and they've done a really good job with that. And 7 keeps it drinkable. You can still have a few and not worry about it, but it's also still it's going to get you there. It's going to get you where you need to be.
But no, it was a good beer. I would definitely have another one.
I think for me, it stays within the confines of being, all the reliable traits that you'd expect of an IPA, but it does some of them with some originality. So that's what I really like about it.
No, you'll definitely not be mistaken that it's an IPA, but it's not going to be the standard IPA that you're used to having if you do follow them around a lot. So I think it's definitely worth a try if you can get past the label.
Yeah, get past the label. It's a little bit more. It's certainly a more refined flavor than the label would indicate.
Yeah,
the label makes you feel like you're drinking like homemade barrel. It's moonshine beer, but this is it's a really well put together IPA. I enjoyed it very much.
Absolutely, I would definitely recommend trying it if you're an IPA fan.
So it is the Flying Dog Snake Dog IPA. Check out the label. Actually, it's probably next to a bunch of other ones from them. Look at all of the labels.
If you do collect beer bottles, which I just started doing because I thought it might be good down in my basement, this is definitely one you need to have. This
stays at the front of the shelf, right?
It's an easy conversation piece.
But it's enjoyable. We were Yet Another Beer Show. Check us out at yetanotherbeershow.com. That's Chris.
That's Colin.
Keep drinking, guys. And ladies.
Well, of course.
I don't think we have that much lady viewership.
I don't know. There's some girls at work that like it. They're like, "You're in a beer show?" I'm like, "Yeah." Like, send me the link.
Oh, are all their beers dogs? Oh wait, do you have a bottle opener? Good people drink good beer. Not this one.
Doesn't seem like it should be printed there.